Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stands before you with a topic known as evolution, meaning and nature of comparative politics, which is observed in core paper number 5 of third semester, and the name of the paper is Introduction to Comparative Government and Politics. So today's topic is evolution of comparative politics, meaning of comparative politics, and nature of comparative politics. Before I start, how comparative politics has been originated, what it means, and what its nature, I want to inform my viewers that in my channel, most of the courses of plus 2 first year to plus 2 second year political science and plus 3 first semester political science to 5th semester political science and environmental studies, most of the courses are available in this channel. Don't be worried about the playlist. Any topic you want, just write my name, Dilip Kumar Pal, and the name of the topic. Immediately, its Odia video and English video will be available. And anything which is in English, definitely it will be in the Odia form. Anything which is found in Odia form, Odia video, definitely be sure that its English videos are also available. And I want to inform my viewers that if you have not subscribed my channel, subscribe. And your friends, those who are in above class, to subscribe my channel, so at least some students will be benefited. And a single help to anybody, the help will not go in vain. The help may come back to you in future. Let us start. How comparative politics has been evolved, or how comparative politics has been originated. Let us start. About comparative politics, Harry Eckstein once told, comparative politics is growing so fast that it seems as if it would encompass political science from where it has been originated. According to Harry Eckstein, comparative politics is growing so fast. It is becoming so much popular day by day. It seems as if it would encompass political science. It would become more popular than political science from which it has been originated. And Aristotle is regarded as the father of comparative politics. It is told by Harry Eckstein. So comparative politics is a very popular subject. Day by day it is becoming more and more popular. And its father is none else but Aristotle. But how this comparative politics has been originated? Comparative politics has been originated in the 20th century. Comparative politics has been originated in the 20th century. Prior to 20th century, comparative politics was known as comparative government, which was primarily collecting informations by comparative studies about political institutions, problems and issues of Greek city-states, especially, and states of Europe generally. So, comparative politics has been originated in the 20th century. But prior to 20th century, comparative politics was known in the name of comparative government. And this comparative government was only comparing political institutions, their problems and issues of ancient Greek states in particular and European countries in general. It was not worldwide. At that time, there were about 1000 city-states in Greece, from which major city-states were Athens, Sparta, Corinth, Thebes, Aegina, Rhodes, etc. And Aristotle collected a lot of information by studying 158 constitutions of those Greek city-states. Besides Aristotle, Cicero, Polybius, Montesquieu, Bagehot, J.S. Mill, Machiavelli, etc. were leading scholars of the subject comparative government. So, when comparative politics has been originated? Comparative politics has been originated in the 20th century. But prior to it, there was no comparative politics. But prior to 20th century, there was comparative government. And the function of the comparative government was to compare different type of political institutions, their problems, their power, their issues of ancient Greek city-states in particular and European states in general. So comparative government was confined only with the Europe. It was not worldwide. So prior to 20th century, there was no comparative politics. Rather, there was comparative government. And the function of comparative government was to compare political institutions, their power, functions, issues of Greek city-states in particular and European states in general. It was not worldwide. And what were the nature of comparative government? There are some natures of comparative government, features. It was confined only in European countries and not worldwide. What were the nature of comparative government? Comparative government was confined only with the European countries. It was not worldwide. Number 2, emphasis on political institutions of European countries, mainly their power and functions. Comparative government was confined only the political institutions of the European countries. It was comparing political institutions of European countries, their power, their issues. Number 2, it depends on history, philosophy, law, etc. for making comparative studies. Comparative government was taking shelter of history, philosophy, law for making comparative study. 4th, study was not realistic, precision, comprehensive and scientific. The study which comparative government was making was not realistic. It was not on facts. Number 2, precision. It was not exact. Comprehensive. It was not covering everything. Scientific. It was not making study on the basis of scientific method. Scientific method means data collection, data analysis and data interpretation. Fifth feature is that it is not objective, rather descriptive in study. The study of the comparative politics was not objective, rather it was descriptive. It was not to the point. It was not objective. It was not to the point. It only describes. It only describes. Objective means it should be based on facts. It should not be. It should be based on facts. It should be impartial, then reliable, then value free. And finally, it believes in normative approach which says what ought to be in future. So, comparative politics has been originated after 20th century. Prior to it, there was comparative government, and comparative government was confined only with the European country. It was not worldwide. Then it was giving emphasis to comparing political institutions. It depends on history, philosophy, law for the comparative study. It was not realistic, precision, comprehensive, scientific. It was not objective study, it was descriptive study. It believes in normative approach, means it believes what ought to be in future. This was comparative government prior to 20th century. But in the 20th century, comparative politics has come up. And when comparative politics has come up, it has become worldwide. It was not confined with the Europe. So after 20th century, in the 20th century, comparative politics has come. So comparative politics has been originated after 20th century, and its supporters were Oak, Zink, Blondel, C.F. Strong, Herman Feiner, Almond, Powell, David. So comparative politics has been originated after 20th century. Its supporters were Oak, Zink, Blondel, C.F. Strong, Herman Feiner, Almond, Powell, David. So comparative politics has been originated in the 20th century. And what is comparative politics? In plain language, comparative politics means it is a plus of two words. One is comparative, other one is the politics. The word comparative politics is the plus of two words, comparative and politics. The word comparative means to compare, and politics means political institutions and non-state political institutions. So what is comparative politics? Comparative politics means it is a plus of two words. One is comparative, other than the politics. Comparative means to compare. Politics means political institutions and non-state political institutions. So comparative politics means comparison of political institutions and non-state political institutions of worldwide is comparative politics. So comparative politics means, in plain language, it is a plus of two words. One is comparative, other than the politics. Comparative means to compare. Politics means political institutions and non-state political institutions. So comparative politics means comparison of political institutions like legislature, executive, judiciary, and non-state political institutions like those institutions which are not funded, which are not given fund by state, like international organizations, UNO, WHO, World Health Organization, ILO, World International Labour Organization, NGOs, and other voluntary organizations in the international level. So comparative politics in plain language means it is a plus of two words. One is comparative, other than the politics. Comparative means to compare. Politics means political institutions as well as non-state political institutions. So comparative politics means to compare political institutions of worldwide and non-state political institutions of worldwide. Is comparative politics in plain language. So we are clear how comparative politics has come up of 20th century. Prior to it, it was comparative government. And we are clear what is comparative politics in plain language. Now see, there are some principles of comparative politics which are its nature. It has as many as we'll discuss 7 important features of comparative politics or its nature. The first nature of comparative politics is that its jurisdiction is worldwide, including 200 states at present operating in the world and non-state political institutions operating in the world wide. So the first nature of comparative politics is that it is not confined with the Europe. It is worldwide. It studies about 200 states which are present now in the world level, as well as non-state political institutions, like those institutions which are not given money by the state, like international organizations, NGOs, and other voluntary organizations, civil society in the world level. So the first feature of comparative politics is that, the first nature of the comparative politics is that it is worldwide. It studies all the states in the world and all those non-state political institutions like international organizations, voluntary organizations in the world level, civil society in the world level. Number 2, it applies objective method of study. It applies objective method of study, means factual or real study, unbiased or impartial study, reliable or trustworthy study, value free means not to give one's view, rather attentive to the actual facts. So second nature of comparative politics is that it believes in the objective study. Objective study means factual or real study, unbiased or impartial study, reliable or trustworthy study, value free study means not to give one's attention, not to give one's view, rather to be confined only with the study. Number 3, it believes in empirical study. It believes in empirical study. Another nature of comparative politics is that it believes in empirical study. Empirical study means empirical study trusts to those informations after data collection, their analysis, and arrive at a conclusion. Comparative politics believes in empirical study. Empirical study means we should not believe anything by argument. The data will be collected, they will be analyzed, and they will be interpreted. So it believes in empirical study to collect data, analyze data, and interpret data relating to activities of government, their function and activities. So third nature of comparative politics is that it believes in it has trust on empirical study. Fourth one, it believes in interdisciplinary focus. It believes in interdisciplinary focus means to study politics with the help of knowledge of natural and social sciences. It believes in interdisciplinary study. It wants to study with the knowledge of other subjects like natural sciences and social sciences. Fifth, it makes both horizontal and vertical comparison of government. It makes both the horizontal and vertical comparison of government. Horizontal study means national governments of present time will be compared. National government of contemporary times will be compared. It is horizontal study. Vertical study means within a country there are a lot of governments are found. Central government, state government, local government, they will be studied. So comparative politics studies, it believes in horizontal comparison of government and vertical comparison of government. Then sixth one is it studies infrastructure of politics. It studies infrastructure of politics. Means actual political behavior of individual, groups, systems, subsystems, etc. in an environment. Another nature of comparative politics is that it studies infrastructure of politics. Means actual political behavior of individual, groups, system, subsystems in an environment. It studies the actual political behaviors of individual, groups, systems, subsystems in an environment. Then seventh one, it wants to make a realistic study, comprehensive study, precision study and scientific study. It wants to make a realistic study. It studies what is real. It studies real facts. Comprehensive, it covers entire thing. Precision, it studies exact, clear cut. Scientific study, it believes in scientific study means a laboratory study. Then another one, it wants to make scientific theory. It wants to make scientific theory of politics. It wants to make scientific theory of politics in place of only comparing political institutions, their merits and demerits. It is not confined only with the comparison of political institutions, merits and demerits. It believes in scientific. It wants to make scientific theory of politics. It wants to make scientific theory of politics. It wants to make political science scientific. It is not confined only with the comparison of political institutions, their merit and demerit. It wants to make scientific theory of politics in place of only comparing political institutions, merit and demerits. Finally, it believes in conceptualization of politics. It believes in conceptualization of politics means to make systematic plan before the study and not haphazard study. It believes in conceptualization of politics. It means it wants to make a systematic study. Before study, it plans. It doesn't believe in haphazard study. So, in this video, we have discussed when comparative politics has been originated. It has been originated 20th century. Prior 20th century, there was comparative government, and we have discussed what was the nature of comparative government prior 20th century, and we have discussed what is comparative politics and what are its features. So I request my viewers to watch this video attentively. Thank you. Have a good day.